So what do you feel like athletes who like hungry for greatness, like what do you think they do differently from everybody else? But you see those kids who in a fucked up situation at home, they really be, I'd be like, damn, like, what were your mom at? Oh, she not here. She ain't at you just seen a crackhead at work.
Yeah, so, hey, LT might have been out there cheating, bro, for real, bro. If you got crack and cocaine in your system, you playing football.
Oh, you thought this was a game, huh? Oh, you slept, you missed the range, huh? I don't switch sides.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Brock, and this is the Brockcast. I'm joined with my co-host with the most, Mr. Patty Pat.
Yo, what's good?
Hey, we're talking about being successful for our aspiring athletes and our current pro athletes. Hosted by yours truly, Mr. Mike Brockers, first-round pick, 11-year vet. We're talking about the real stories, real strategies, and real struggles on and off the field. Today's sponsors are Brock Brand Clothing. Be ready, opportunity comes knocking. And Ready Sports Drink. You want something great while you hydrate? Try Ready Sports Drink.
This show is about more than just stats and contracts. It's about the full journey and business moves that you need to make to help build your legacy when the lights go out.
But I'm excited to be here, man. I got a lot of great energy just from people just, kind of building us up. I had my guy TG hit me last night, told me to keep going. Todd Gurley told me to keep going, keep the podcast going. I had another one of my guys, a gentleman at a Buc-ee's I go to. I'm always kind of stopping in there for coffee every morning before I go to my workout. And he was telling me, he was like, man, hey, Pat, lay off my my Cowboys, man. So the fact that people watching, man, I appreciate y'all and I appreciate the support. Today's topic, man, we're going to touch on a little subject on mindset of greatness, man. What separates the good from the great, How does it, what is the process the greats do differently than the people who are average, man? It's all about the mindset, the mission, and the passion it takes to get to the next level. So let's get into it. Man, I think I love this first topic because it talks about who's inspiring you, and I was inspired a couple of weeks back. We go to LA.
Let me tell everybody.
Yes,
it's AD. Shout out, we know AD.
Yes.
I'm telling you,
we know AD. We getting our shirts made.
If you don't know Aaron Donald, man, for the people who don't know Aaron Donald, if you ever are around him, if you ever get to spend 5-10 minutes with him. Mm-hmm. He will make you be like, damn, bro, I need to go run through a wall. Yeah. Right now. Like, he will have you to that point so you like, bro, I got to get my shit together. I got to start doing something.
Facts. And I think that's what happened to me, like going over his house and, just being around his family, but just seeing him as a man and seeing like his determination to be great at whatever he does. It's not like now that football is done for him, he's trying to be the best husband, the best father, the best businessman, the best, now you want to get into acting. So I think that's dope for him to kind of like jump off the porch and just really get out there and, do it, So for me, this first topic of who inspires you is a great topic for me to start off with because, he got me in the weight room again. I took a little hiatus off of the weight room for like a month and a half, almost 2 months. And just not depressed, but just in the sense of like, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I, working out? Why am I eating right? Why am I dieting? And then just, going to his house, seeing him, bro. And y'all haven't seen, AD, go to his, AD99. Man, he's on Instagram and, he works out every day and he's not playing no football. He works out. He's getting swole in the gym. And, for me, I'm not a jealous, man, envious. I'm just like, dog, I got to get my shit ready. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, man, why he always got his shirt off? He's looking all swole for no reason, For me, it's like, dog, I got to get my shit right. I got to get it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. I feel like a person that truly inspires me, just to be a better person. And he doesn't even have to do anything. He's just himself. He talks about, we chop it up about life and what he's doing. And I'm just inspired by the things that, he's getting himself into and, the fact that he's doing all this and still keeping his body right, still eating right, things like that. So for me, I'm like, damn, like, this is what greatness is people talk about. They like, what's the difference? It's the little things. It's the mindset, his mindset is still to be one of the best, people out there, the best dad, best father, best, whatever. He's still trying to be the best even after football, and I just think that's inspiring, you know, for me to always watch. You know what I'm saying?
Man, let me chime in on that.
Talk to me.
Of course, I'm gonna say AD, and for all the same reasons with you, you as well. You know, and I feel like we kind of go back and forth with a lot of things, with a lot of stuff we got going on together. That you know, some stuff that you do, I'm like, damn, bro, he right. You know what? It inspired me. This is what I'm gonna do, right? Also, our boy Zach, man, with Residency.
Yes.
Listening to his story and how he came up from selling chicken in a mall and having, you know, 20, 25 chicken spots or whatever he had,
right.
25 kookaroos, you know what I'm saying, and get him to Greek. And Zach is full of knowledge, man. Zach, my boy Zach, Residency, shout out to you. It's just, man, just a lot of people that we didn't been around. Just, you know, you didn't open a lot of doors for me. I done met a lot of people, you know, just being around you. And that's why every time we go somewhere, I'm always going to, I got to gas you up, man. Because
I hate it, though. But I mean,
you done done a lot for me, bro, in ways that you would never know. But just, you three guys stand out the most to me, and I know Zach probably gonna see this. He gonna be, you know, I remember the first time he was on our podcast. He's like, man, I need the link, man, so I can show my mama. My mama was on the podcast. So you know, man, that guy Zach, bro, I love him to death. And man, Zach, you didn't inspire me, bro. And so
Zach was like one of our first people on the podcast, when we started doing podcasts. We didn't know we was gonna be this popular, you know what I mean? Hey, we not as big as, you know, the Shay room or whatever.
We gonna get there, bro.
But I'm still surprised as far as like the support we getting, bro. Like I told you, the dude like from the store that was just like, hey, tell Pat to lay off my cowboy. I'm like, dog, they watching. They watching, dog, you know. So like this is for all the people out there that feel like, man, you know, you do something and you don't see the results immediately, bro. Take your time, be consistent, day after day, just one foot in front of the other. Show up when you don't even want to show up, and you'll be surprised at the returns that you'll get from that.
I was gonna say that it's crazy that you say that because we always say consistency is the key, right? Yeah. So we got our analytics report or whatever, and we hit 500,000 views and. Like just from our short form and long form content. Yeah. And I think like over a month and a half or something like that. So just hearing stuff like that, like you don't even think like, damn, bro, that many people didn't watch our stuff. Yeah. Like it's not showing up like with the followers and subscribers yet, but just knowing we can get our report, right? And look, this how many people didn't watch our stuff. Like, right. I was like, damn, bro, that shit made me feel good.
Nah, bro. It does. All our supporters of the broadcast, we appreciate you.
Bro, and then look, so I'm on Xbox, right? And every now and then, you know, my homeboys, bro, he got a podcast. So I joined the party, it's 15 people in there. They like, oh, this the nigga with the podcast. This the nigga with the podcast. Right. So they was like, somebody said, oh, this the nigga that was hating on the Cowboys. I seen his shit. That nigga a hater, bro. So we get to arguing about the Cowboys. They trying to bring up Tony Romo and all that shit, bro. I was like, man, bro, y'all ain't finna give me. I'm on the game, bro. I'm on the game.
Right. Yeah, I ain't trying to, get out. Get out.
But it's still funny, though. It's cool that you got people watching from everywhere. So shout out to our fans, friends, family. Everybody who been supporting us since day one.
For sure. I don't know. We got our topic, but I was just excited from that, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. But continuing to talk about how we feel like, even though I would say we're the same age for real, but he came in the league a year after me, and just the fact that like I looked up to him as a mentor, especially when every year he was defensive player of the year or whatever, I was just like, dang, I want to learn from you. Like, how are you so consistent? How are you consistently going out here dominating, and the little nuances, like I say, the little things, you learn from, like, he shows up, it's his day is planned out where he came into the office, the facility around 5:30, something like that. Watched his film before we even watch film together. He's already watched the film of his opponent. He'll then probably eat or work out or something. Then we'll meet again with the team. So he'll already have like all his everything that he wants to do against the guy, he already have that down on his sheet. So now he's just learning, like, okay, what are our plans on defense? Like, what are we running on defense? So to see like a guy that determined, you know, to be dominant, to go out there and win a game, it just showed me, like, you know, what I need to be doing. So, and I think I told that story before, where it's like, you know, he always kind of makes you feel like you need to be doing more. You know, he's always doing extra work. He's always getting better. So you feel like, man, if the best defensive tackle that's playing this game right now is getting better, why shouldn't I be getting better? You know, so he led by doing, and you know, I think that's just who he is. You know, he's even doing it now.
Okay, speaking of that,
yeah.
So what about like some mentors and role models you didn't have? They didn't put you in a place to where you, like, mentally, you like, damn, bro.
Man, you know, the mentors that I've had, you know, shout out to Kevin, you know, the chaplain for the Rams, man. He's like a big brother to me. Kevin Nickerson, he's like a big brother to me, and I just think, you know, the way, you know, our relationship is like a big brother. You know, like, you know, I know he's been through a lot of things, and I always try to surround myself around the OGs. You know, a lot of the guys who have a lot of wisdom, who's done it before, because I want to learn, like, hey, what do I need to prepare myself for mentally? Like, what do I need to get ready for? You know, physically, whatever it is, I want to know from the older guys who have the wisdom, what do I need to prepare myself for? So I always, me personally, always felt like that was my little niche to the game. My little advantage was I was going to learn from the older guy. I was going to humble myself, you know, be under somebody's wing, kind of learn the game from them, and try to take little pieces that I can. But I always tried to get around somebody that was older than me, that I felt like knew more than me.
And me, you know, speaking on the same thing with mentors, one of my good friends, and it's crazy because how I met this guy, him and his son and I, this is when I was playing. I first tried out for semi-pro football, right? His son was the smallest motherfucker out there, right? And, you know, he was quick, and he was trying out for a kick return or something like that. And me and him kind of kicked it off at practice, right? So we got cool, whatever. Random. First day I met the dude, he was like, hey, bro, you want to come chill at the crib? Like, me and my pops, you know what I'm saying? Me and my pops. I'm like, all right, but he lived down the street from me.
Right, okay,
so I'm
okay,
like, all right, bet, you know what I'm saying? Let me go to the crib, whatever. I go to his house, I meet his dad. His dad's an older guy, and he was still like a young person, like cool, down to earth. He's a veterinarian.
He was hip.
He was hip. He knew a lot about dogs, and that's when we kicked it off.
Okay.
And then his dad has been a mentor to me ever since. You know, it's been like 12 years, 11, 12 years, bro. That him and I still have close contact.
What made you feel like, okay, he'll be a good mentor for me?
I not having a father figure in my life, and just you know, he kind of became that without basically saying, I want to be a father figure, right? So anytime I was going through something, you know, I'd be like, damn, bro, let me call Miguel. We start working out together. Shout out to my boy Miguel, man. He also went to Millview High School.
Yeah, too. I know Miguel. Shout out to Miguel.
Fellow Buffalo alumni. And anytime I kind of go through something, I hit him up. And he still just randomly, if he haven't heard from me, call him, Pat, man, what's up, man? Where you at? Like,
yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, checking in on me. And then I had another mentor, man. I'm trying not, listen, as I'm talking about, we just talking about that, I'm trying not to, you know, shed a tear because I just lost him, you know, last week.
Wow. Sorry to hear that,
some
boss.
gun violence. And my boy Clayton, man. And Clayton, I coached his son. And you know, I would see him on the sideline, you know, stuff like that. Randomly, we kind of like just introduce each, you know, I got introduced to him randomly just on the sideline or whatever, and then him and I got real cool, right? And Clayton was one of those guys who had a past, right? But he changed his life around. It was all about his family.
Right.
You could tell that it was all about his kids, and that's all he cared about. You know, is making sure his kids were good. And with me, he brought me in and treated me like I was family. Anytime I needed something, he's like, Pat, bro, if you feeling some type of way, man, come to the house. I got you, bro. We cook something. You want to go eat? I got you, bro. Like, you know, I'm gonna look off anything. You know, he was literally giving me the shirt off his back, and he didn't have to, but he was just one of them type of people. anytime I had like if I couldn't get in contact with Miguel, Clayton calling me like, "Hey man, what's on your mind? How you feeling today?" and stuff like that. And you know, it hurts a lot to lose somebody like that,
right?
That you become so close with over the years, and being part of his family, man. And his son is the kid who I've been following around, filming and doing all this stuff. So you know, we didn't got even closer because I'm with them all the time, traveling to these colleges, and you know, filming this stuff for his son and being part of that whole process with them. And their son, who just became the starting quarterback at Klein Oak. So shout out to my boy Chad.
Yes, sir.
He gonna be doing big things this year. So, those are my two mentors and my role models that I have in my life.
Man, and that's special, bro. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Man. Nah, facts. It's always tough losing someone that, you know, you felt like made such a big impact on your life, you know. Even me, man, Mama Ville, man, the whole Ville family, and you know, I ain't gonna put them out there, but you know, she was great to me, and she brung me in like a son, like you said, just an open door policy, just was like, you know, you need a ride, you need somewhere to sleep, whatever, come over here, you know, and we not gonna ask nothing from you. We don't want nothing back from you. So just come over here and you be yourself. So I always appreciate it.
But also,
you know?
I can't forget this person.
Yeah, talk to me.
Because without this person, my life wouldn't be what it is today, man. Shout out to my sister, man.
Come on, man. Come on. Shout out to Big Sis.
Tina Miles, man.
Come on, man.
My sister, like everybody know, I lost my mom when I was 16 of cancer. My sister was 25 years old at the time. She had my nephew. My sister's life completely changed because now I have to take care of I got a 16-year-old now that I have to take care of, and I have I can't remember how old my nephew was, but he was
baby.
And my sister didn't bat an eye. You know, she went through her trials and tribulations, but you know, she stood 10 toes down. You know. And she held it down for the family. She's still holding it down for me, you know. So shout out to Tina Miles, man. I got to get a big ups to my sister for being there for me.
For sure. Shout out to Tina Miles. You already know what it is. Man, you know, so I guess that takes us into the segment about talking about kids, because you talked about your friend having a child, and we seen a clip that talked about pretty much a dad, you know, wondering like, should he push his kid to greatness, you know. I don't know if we gonna run that clip. Did you want to run it?
Yeah, we can run that clip.
Yeah, let's run that clip real quick.
So speaking of that, you know, while I get that clip going, we've seen this, right? So many times to where you can break a kid, right? Because it's like, damn, when can we let this child be a kid? But as a parent, you know, I know what it's gonna take to get you to a certain level where everybody else is not. As a child, you just thinking like, dang, now that like, man, I want to go have fun, go do this, do that, and you know, and the parents are not letting these kids be kids, and then it's tough. Like even in Texas, bro, we got year-round football, it's hard trying to walk that fine line of letting your kids be a kid and then trying to work the shit out of them and have them become, you know, the next Jerry Rice or the next Randy Moss or something like, or whatever they, you know what I'm saying, whatever sport they play. So
what do you think? Like, obviously there has to be a healthy balance, right? Because you don't want to just not, you know, not be present, but you don't want to not discipline your kids to have them thinking like, hey, anything is, you know, anything can go, you know. So how do you feel about like, you know, being that fatherly figure who's like on top of his kids, making sure they do whatever they got to do to be successful?
See, when it comes to me, like when it comes to me and coaching and trying to be a father figure, right? I still keep up with the kids that I coached that are in high school. Majority of those kids that I coached that I coached on that good ass team, they're either juniors, seniors in high school, or I think they're all juniors and seniors in high school right now. Yeah, they are. So I'm seeing them their graduation photos and them committing to colleges and stuff like that. Like I said, man, we're gonna get some of them on the show. So just seeing all that, man, and still being able to contact them and hey man, you know, let me everything good. You know, I still want to. I don't want nothing from you. I just want to know everything with you is okay.
Right.
If there's something that you need from me, let me know. Right. So I'm still here. Just because I'm not coaching you no more, I'm still coach. They still call me Coach Pat.
Right.
So
how does that make you feel though? How you seeing them go to college, graduate?
Bro, it's like you can't nothing but have like proud fatherly figure moment. Like damn, bro, that's you know what I'm saying. Like I remember all those years, bro. You reminisce all those times where you had them crying, or all those times where y'all having a big game, or just whatever it is. You know, like. With our team, we would have sleepovers for the weekend. The kids come Friday night. They got their pay at the football practice. They going to get their bags from Mama car, and they spend the weekend with the coaches. We rent out hotel rooms so they can go swimming, be in a safe environment, bro. Because I didn't had kids where you get a phone call and I didn't had a kid either. Then lost their life or in jail. So that kind of keeps those kids out of that situation, or and it gives them something to look forward to. Like it builds a bond between all those kids, and it shows on the football field like big time. Versus those kids who just go to practice, go home. Right?
Yeah.
You don't really have that charisma with your homeboys, and you're not spending time with them as much. And you see it all the time. In youth football, you could tell when a team is together.
Right.
So I'm gonna play the clip with the father talking about. Being overly.
I got you.
Is it good, you?
She realized she wished her mom had pushed her more. Now I argued with her and saying, "Yeah, but you didn't want that." She said, "I know." Her mom played Division I basketball. She wished her mom would have pushed her to do something like that. So now I'm thinking, should I push my children to do it regardless if they want to or not, because I know better? Should I risk my relationship with my child to force them to be great, even
That's the biggest one.
against their will? Should I be Joe Jackson and create a Michael Jackson, a Janet Jackson, a whole family of greatness? Should I sacrifice a great relationship with my children in order to see them succeed in the...
Yeah, see, so that's kind of basically what I was saying. It's like, as parents, we know, we know what it's gonna take.
Yeah.
We know what we trying to get you to. As a child, you just want to go outside and have fun and play with your friends.
And I just think that's what a disconnect is, where we are, as parents, we feel like we've lived, life enough to know like what it's gonna take. But as a kid, your mindset is just like, as a kid, like you say, you just want to have fun. But like I wonder, like he said, do I want to put a strain on my relationship with my child to push them to be successful? Because I think about a lot of things. My mom dealt with me. It's like where I had to take care of my brothers and sisters. I had a lot of responsibility and things like when I was younger. I was like, bruh, like why she won't let me go out? Why she won't let me just be on my own? Why she won't? And then as a parent now, I realize, you know what, mama, you was right by the way you did. So I personally think as a parent now, the things I do, the discipline, the push, pushing them to get through things, like letting them know like they're strong enough to get through things. Everything is not gonna happen like you want it to happen. I want them to know that I love them, but at the same time, like I'm not gonna let you fail. Like I'm not gonna let you suffer. I'm not gonna allow you to fail. I'm not gonna allow you, like you said, I'm not gonna put you in positions to not be successful. So I'm gonna always do what I feel like is right. I'm not gonna do anything that overzealous or overdo it. But definitely, like when it comes to the prime example, I think one of my kids, my daughter, she was a little bit sick before a soccer game, and she wanted to quit, and I was like, baby, look here. You ain't gonna quit this game. You going to this game. So no matter if you sniffling or not, we'll give you a little cold medicine, but you playing in this game. And she managed to pull herself through it or whatever. And she gave me a little stuff about, daddy, you made me, you play while I was sick. But it was like you still found out that you can push through a barrier. Because if I wasn't there, you would have just stopped at, oh man, I feel sick, I'm not gonna go. And that's not what greatness is about. That's not what I mean, life is about, the ones who are able to persevere and push through the hard times and be able to maneuver through the rough times are the ones that are successful. You know what I mean?
And it's, I've seen it coaching youth football where some parents are too invested.
Yeah, for sure.
Where what I gotta say is that fine line. Where you too invested, it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. Now I'm starting to. I feel bad for the child at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's like now I feel like you are trying to live your life through that child.
Right.
Versus putting that child in a position to be successful. Now it's you trying to get. I'm trying to put what I ain't. I'm gonna make you me.
Right.
No, that's you can't do that because you are two totally different individuals.
Yeah.
And they could break a kid and put a kid into a position to where they don't want to do. We dealing with mental health stuff all the time. You see these kids are going through a lot. Kids aren't as, I just hate to say it, but kids aren't as tough as they used to be.
Mm-hmm. Right. No,
so
not
now
at all.
you really got to be careful on how you go about with things and
right,
and
because you could break them.
Yeah,
you could break them. And that's not what you want. I mean, so let's go into this question. So over the years, you've seen, like you said, you've seen parents who have kind of living through their kids, and you've seen kids that who need it, who need the help and the guidance. What do you think is the difference between the ones that have been successful and made it, and the ones that haven't? Like in a sense of like, athlete mental wise, like what's the difference between both of those athletes?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. A lot of kids, it's a double-edged sword here because I've got kids who have had their mother and father in their life, and they're doing great. But I also have those kids who been in a situation to where daddy ain't fucked off, mama kind of really ain't. I mean, she there, but she not, and they getting it out the mud, and you really see them like because they know, look, I got to get out.
Right.
This is my way out of my situation. This is my way to put my family into a different type of environment. This is my way to get me out of where I'm at right now. So I feel like I'm not gonna say that the kids who got both of their parents in their life don't kind of want that dream, that don't have that hunger. But you see those kids who in a fucked up situation at home. Yeah, they really I'd be like, damn, like, what were your mom at? Oh, she not here. She ain't at the. Who you here with? Oh, I came with one of the they ride with one of the other players, right? They people not even at. They don't even know that you at the game,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So and I done had a kid. We just pick him up from the apartments. He's talking about, I'm gonna play with y'all. What were your mom at? He jump in the car with us and
he ain't asked his mama.
He jump in the car with us, start playing on our football team.
Right, yeah. Ain't no reason, man. She gone,
so,
bro.
Them kids like that, man, it's sad to see, but I like having, being that father figure to those, or the male figure to those kids. And then when they find out that I was good at football, they be like, damn, Coach Pat, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of makes them like, all right, well, Coach Pat kind of know what he's talking about a little bit.
Facts. You all about the impact, like you said, man. It's something about the way you feel when you see them walk across the stage, or you see them like, man, bro, hey, Pat, Coach Pat, I appreciate you doing, X, Y, and Z, or whatever.
Think about this, bro. A lot of the kids that I'm seeing graduate right now, bro, I got them at 6 and 7 years old.
That's
not
crazy.
At 17.
That's
16,
crazy,
17.
Yeah.
So just seeing their maturation from youth football all the way up to high school and them doing good in high school and graduating, bro. So like just parents keep posting that stuff on Facebook because it make Coach Pat feel good.
No, facts. What do you think what it's going to take for them to be successful at that next level? You get your kids, these kids, you had them at 7, now you see them at 17. What is it going to take for them to be successful at the next level?
I'm honest with you, bro. When you get to college, those ones who are going to college or out in the real world, reality finna hit your ass now because mama and daddy like, hey, we done our part. Now either you got to go out and get a job, start providing for yourself, start learning some responsibility, or you go to college and everything is all on you now.
Right.
Mom and daddy not waking you up for you. They not waking you up for class. They not waking you up for workouts. They not calling the teacher saying, "Hey, can you help him out with this grade?" Like
Right.
they not doing none of that. Everything is on you when you get to college. So if you want to be successful, you got to put that. You got to know in your mind right now as a high. This should be in your mind as your junior going to your senior year.
Right.
When I get to college, I'm locking in because it's just gonna be you. It's you might have a roommate or something, but they not finna be like, "Hey, bro, you late for class." No, they got their own shit going on in their world. So, y'all gonna have to lock in, bro, because college football, every level gets tougher. High school football was really kind of like a piece of cake, kind of compared to when you get to college, because now it's meeting after meeting after meeting. Then you still got to do your classwork.
Still got to do class.
You still got to work out in the morning and afternoon. It's a lot of shit that's gonna go into being a student athlete now.
Yeah. Right. You might well be an amateur now, but
for sure.
At LSU, I definitely remember a moment where I was like, man, do I love football for real this much? Because I'm waking up at 5 o'clock, 4:45, getting ready, so I can make this 5:30 you workout or whatever. Like, do I really love football that much? And it just was like one step in front of the other. You know what I mean? You know them days in training camp or whatever. You just like, I really don't want to be here, but my body here. You know what I mean? Like, my body's here. And then mentally you start, like I say, you start pushing yourself through barriers. Then you like, oh, man, they can't break me. Like, that's where I realized at LSU is like they were trying to break the ones who were weak. They were mentally trying to break you through exercise, through yelling, screaming, through pressure. Like, it's tough to really go from high school to college if you don't have the right mindset.
But when you were in college, like, who was somebody you watched and you was just like, was that something you was into?
What's that?
Like watching other people, like other D linemen, or like, damn, let me look at this person and see how good they are.
Like I say, not really, not other D linemen. Like, I was watching Julius Peppers, guys like Devon Curse from the league, but I wasn't watching college players. I think if I would do it again, I would have my mind more prepared for like the workouts and things like that. I feel like the workouts was a shock to me.
Yeah.
Going from, inner city Houston HISD to SEC big time, football at LSU, it was a shock to me because I was just like, bro, I didn't know. Like, I thought I was working hard. The things we were doing, Coach James and stuff like that.
We was like, oh yeah, Coach James got us. Damn, bro, Coach James got us sore. You get to college, bro. It's totally
college is a whole different game because
they're gonna have you sweating the whole work. You actually gonna get a sweat in.
You're working for that scholarship. Like, pretty much in my mind, I was like, okay, they working me for my scholarship because I ain't got to pay for school, so I got to show up to this building every day early or whatever. So for me, it was just like that mindset I had going in. If I was more determined to just like, hey, stick through it, I already was like, I'm not going back home. So for me, I'm like, I'm stuck. But mentally, I would have been more prepared if I was like, watching the team, maybe watching how they worked out, maybe more into working out and the whole.
See, but you gotta think about it. Back then, it wasn't like how it is now, because we would have been like, if we had access to the shit they got now, like, shit would have been crazy. Like, you see, they got all these drills. You can just go. You see it all, like,
they got training. They got trainers for
I see
high
players
school
like
kids.
wide receivers and DBs. They just going on YouTube and watching or Instagram videos and just watching the drills and being at home and getting good at the sport.
Right.
While just watching videos that they seen online. When we was coming up, like, watching YouTube was all about highlight tapes.
Right.
Like, it was nothing but highlight tapes.
That was it.
So
it wasn't nobody making no other content besides highlight tapes, and especially for football, for sure.
It was all highlight tapes.
All highlight
Literally.
tapes. It wasn't nothing like position specific, for sure. But when we talked about playing and in college, and I remember, like, what's my why? What's my why? And definitely it always went back to family. It always went back to, how I'm going to change and impact my family's life. And just thinking about it, man, none of my brothers been in jail. My mom, has her house. She's set up, has a good job. And I look at it, I'm like, man, all those sacrifices I chose and the things I chose to do, it benefited, it benefited the family, it benefited my brothers, it benefited my sister, it benefited my mom, even my family. And I'm at peace right now just knowing man, I impacted them in such a positive way and changed probably the whole trajectory of their lives, based on the fact of what I had to do, the things that I put on my shoulders to go to college, to do the things the right way, to make sure I made it to the league. Went first round and I made sure I did everything I had to do based on my foundation of I'm gonna change my family's life.
So what do you feel like athletes who hungry for greatness, what do you think they do differently from everybody else?
I think first and foremost, they're always focused on getting better, and they always focus on getting better when the average guy is probably out partying or out doing something leisurely, relaxing. The greats always are on top of their game. They're always thinking about how do I get better. They're always thinking about how they need to make the next leap, how they need to make the next step. Because when you're good, when you're not good, you don't realize how much impact you make. But then when you're good, you're I'm looking at AD. Trying to figure out how he getting out double teams and triple teams all day. I don't have to deal with that because that's not something I'm not the greatest D lineman in play, so I don't have to deal with triple teams.
But you did have to take on
double
listen,
teams.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now, right? This is something that a lot of people out there don't understand. They be like, "Oh, who gives a damn about?" Mike didn't have his job was let me take on these. A double team, the offensive lineman, right? Mm-hmm. So AD can be freed up one-on-one, right?
That's just how it was set it up. That's how it was set up. In my mind, if I could have it, I would let him take all the double teams and I'll get the one-on-one. But if we go win a game and the defense was gonna be good and he was gonna impact the game in a tremendous way, it had to be him with the one-on-one, me on the double teams, and that's okay because at the end of his career, he got triple teams. So hey, it all. And
this is why AD was mad when Mike wasn't there no more. But I just want to let y'all know, the interior D linemen, their job is not you might every now and then you come across a Chris Jones, right? Mm-hmm. But their job is my job is really not to keep trying to get sacks and tackle for losses. My job is to hold these linemen up so the guys who we have specifically, we've drafted and brought to our team to go get the quarterback can do their job efficiently. Yeah. And they don't have to worry about X, Y, and Z on the D-line because that's what they got me for. Listen, I'm sorry. My job is not glorious and my job is not glamorous, right? Mm-hmm. But for 11 years, the job got done. So
yeah. Man, I don't feel no type way, man. Shit, the offensive linemen, they'll play their whole 13 years and don't get no acknowledgement. Yeah. I'm glad they finally got an award, though. They finally got an award for the Protector of the Year. But other than that, man, offensive linemen don't get no shine at all. But you asked me, what's the difference, and I would say, the little things work. Like I said, working with nobody's watching, having integrity, always focus on your craft. But for me, it's the obstacles that they can continue to get over. It's
I would say working on their deficiencies, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm a basketball player. And I'm starting to see if I'm a right-handed player, right?
Right.
And people starting to notice, he don't go left.
Yeah.
If I want to be great at this sport, I need to. Now I see people starting to try to see me to my left. Right. All right, cool. Off season, I'm finna dribble. I'm nothing but left hand dribbling, right?
Right.
So that next year when I come back, when I come back, you don't know what I'm gonna do. And that's Kyrie Irving, bro. Yeah. It's a prime example of somebody who they say he played and Mon Sherpa explained this perfectly. He said, when Kyrie Irving is dribbling the ball, he is playing defense against you while you on defense. He is keeping the ball away from you. But your job, you already playing defense. You trying to stop him, but he keeping the ball away from you right? While he on offense. And I was just like, damn, that shit. Like, when it first I heard, I was like, hold on, wait, what? But then when you think about as a defender, right? My job is I'm trying to take the ball away from you, but you defending me from getting that ball from you, and then now you see he can finish with the right, he can finish with the left, he can dribble with his left, he can dribble with his right. You never know what he gonna do. So that's one thing. And then say you know, if I'm playing football, right, and I have a few drops this year, right? Oh, he got butterfingers. So my off season, I'm finna be in front of the jug machine. Right. So get my hands right, working with my quarterback. You know, figuring out how to catch certain balls when they spin a certain type of way. Pause. But yeah, man. So I feel like that can take you to another level from being good to great, working on your deficiencies, because it's easy to go home and watch a highlight tape.
Right. What
about the low lights? That's what people don't like watching.
People don't like watching their bad plays.
People get mad when you say,
don't.
Bro, you got mushed. What? Nah, bro, it's because no.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, bro.
And in the league, especially, bro, everybody get got, bro. And there's not one person that has played NFL that can say like, oh, I ain't never got. Like, bro, everybody professionals, everybody grown men, bro. Somebody gonna catch you slipping at one point in time, bro. So you just gotta take that bitch on the chin, pause, and just next play, because you know what? We all men, we all professionals, bro. You know, hey, good shit on that play. You gotta, good shit on that play, bro. Hey, we got another 20, 30, 40 more plays to go. I'm gonna whoop your ass too.
Yeah.
But you know, and I guess that's going to talk, because I guess that's why I struggle so much with the identity.
Maintaining a mindset of greatness.
Yeah.
And this is, like you say, this is something I'm always, I gotta keep after Mike, y'all. Like, Mike, don't worry about, like, because everywhere we go, I feel like I say this all the time, and he be like, man, nobody. I'm like, bro, they don't care about that.
Yeah.
But when you walk into a room and you say, hey, I'm Michael Brockers, 11-year NFL veteran. Now everybody like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, he played in the league for 11 years. They don't give a damn where you played. 11 years in the NFL. You could have played for 11 teams, right? But you still played 11 years, right? Those people now all of a sudden, they're like, oh snap! Now I'm being, you know, I feel more relaxed around you, and you didn't, you know, you got some type of aura to yourself, and people in the room now all of a sudden everybody want to have a conversation. Right now everybody, oh you do what? See now, and I'll tell you, they open up the doors for, hey, I also have a cigar lounge, right, in Houston, Texas, right. You know, we got a clothing brand, up and coming clothing brand. I have this going on with my real estate, and now everybody's like, oh, okay. Now they want to talk and have a conversation with you. Now your network is going, and whenever I'm not around, Mike be like, dang, bro, you shouldn't. I'm like, Mike, when I'm not there, it got to be times with you or who you got to be me for yourself. You know, because I can't be around you 24/7. If I could, I would. But you know,
it's hard hyping yourself up, right?
Without being arrogant.
Yeah, without being arrogant.
But like I said, man, you can walk. Like I said, I'm Michael Brockers, 11-year NFL veteran. You know, I'm into real estate. I have a cigar lounge, and I'm an up and coming clothing brand. That's a good introduction.
Pretty much it. Yeah.
Right. So I feel like that can kind of help you out with your mindset of staying who you are and staying true to you without being, man, I played 11 years in the NFL. Can't nobody tell me shit.
Right, I definitely don't want to be them guys, because you know there are guys like that probably don't even play 4-5 years and be like, man, I played in the NFL. It's like, come on, yo. Like,
you was in the league, bro, but all right, that's cool. That's fine, right? But you don't have to, like, you know, you don't have to like shun people because you play in the league. That's cool, bro. You made to the league. Congratulations, my brother.
But you saying I should be looking at it like more of a
that's a way to get yourself into a lot of rooms, like to make people like, oh snap, okay. Instead of just you walking around and being a tall person and people looking at you and like, damn, he must be an athlete. Now I'm being judged, right? For I can introduce you and you know who I am, right?
Right.
And people saying, oh, that's Michael Brockers, you know. He into real estate. He played in the NFL, and now everybody telling everything that you do.
Yeah. No, facts. No, I definitely agree. It's like I say, it's just tough, like that healthy balance between arrogance and you know, being humble, and it's a fine line. Talk to me. What else we got?
I got you. That kind of goes into, one of the topics of how do you maintain habits of greatness. That's something I just kind of talked about. Like when we go places and we networking and stuff like that, introduce yourself. Let people know who you are.
Yeah.
Kind of command the room, because everywhere you go anyway, it's not like you can hide.
Yeah.
You can't blend in. Know where you go. Because everywhere we go, anywhere we go, people look at him, they look at me, they look at him, they look at me, they like, who are these guys? We wearing Brock brand, so they be like, damn, they must do something, right? They see he's 6'6", oh, he must play ball, or they probably both play ball or something like that. Like, I ain't no small dude, so they start trying to, they mind start wondering.
Because you like 6'3".
Yeah, I'm 6'3", bro, on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, Instagram, I'm 6'3". So, ain't nothing wrong with going there and commanding the room, bro, because all eyes going to be on you everywhere we go. Even when we was in LA and we got to meet when we was in there with Rich Paul and the guys from that produced the show, The Shop.
Yes.
Even when you walked in there, bro, everybody was looking at Rich Paul is in the building, but everybody was looking at you. Obviously you was the tallest person in there, but Rich Paul is in the building, bro, but everybody was looking at you trying to figure out who you were. So
because they say I look like LeBron a little bit.
Kayvon Thibodeau, I you know what I'm saying? I would say Kayvon Thibodeau.
He say Kayvon Thibodeau. I keep
because the beard, bro,
Thibodeau.
The beard and glasses, bro. Kayvon Thibodeau for sure. We gonna have to put a pop up next to you.
Right. I don't look like no Kayvon Thibodeau. Hey, let's go into our locker room talk, man. I think we got a couple of topics. I think it's gonna be some good ones for the show.
Yeah, our first topic of the day is top receivers that are better than Calvin Johnson, right? And I'm gonna play out this soundbite of a guy who kind of got this trend going. I don't know if he got it going or not, but
it's a crazy list because I've seen the video, and the fact that he did like name off like eight guys who I felt like were up there. It might have been a couple like asterisk receivers that he put in front of Calvin Johnson, but a lot of them, when you think about the receiver position and what they've done, it's hard to argue. So let's play
this clip, man.
Yeah.
Who do you think are the 10 receivers that are better than Calvin Johnson? So we already know Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss. I'll get real nasty. I'll throw Andre Johnson in there right now. Tim Brown.
Better.
Out your mind. Keep going. Steve Smith Sr. Marvin Harrison. Out your mind. Keep going. Chris Carter. I didn't say Isaac Bruce? No, did it? Yeah. What do you think are the 10?
Like, hey, so
hold on. My bad.
Yeah.
This man said, so I'm gonna give you who I think.
He said 10 receivers better
10
than
receivers better than Calvin Johnson.
That's hard.
Bro. I'm gonna tell you, Jerry Rice,
okay,
Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. That is it.
Okay, all right. I thought you were gonna name off 10. I was like, boy, you impressive,
no. Ain't no way you give you no. I would say that's it. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. That's it. That's Andre Johnson, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Andre Johnson was one of those complete receivers. He was good for a long time, right? Better than Calvin Johnson? No. He said Larry Fitzgerald. We don't know for we know Larry Fitzgerald for being Mr. Hands, right?
Right.
That's not somebody you think like, oh fuck. He no. Not to take nothing against Larry Fitzgerald, but no, that's not I'm not scared. I'm not taking Larry Fitzgerald over Calvin Johnson, bro. I'm not.
I'm with you. I'm trying to see like
I'm not
over
6'5", 4'3" speed who can catch everything you throw to him, bro. Listen, Larry Fitzgerald, who I don't give a fuck if you can run a better route than Calvin Johnson. Wherever I throw it to, Calvin Johnson is 6'5" and ran a 4'3".
Yeah.
Who else we know did that? Randy Moss. That's it.
Yeah.
Huh? It can't
don't
go off for
That's
Super Bowls.
Randy
Moss don't have no chip,
sure.
and they went 16-0.
And he got the word Moss. Yeah, Moss.
And he got a pass named after him. You get Moss. I'm not going Larry Fitzgerald. I'm not going Isaac Bruce. I'm not doing
done Isaac Bruce.
Who else I can't even.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison, no. Steve Smith. No, Steve Smith was a dog. I'm not taking Steve Smith. I'm not taking somebody.
It's just hard for me to say I'm going. Yeah.
No, bro.
I hear you. I hear you, but that's the same reason why I'm giving Calvin Johnson that aspect as well, as far as being up there as like top 2, because he's 6'5", he run a 4.3. And we seen him run in routes. We seen, now he might not have been, nobody really watched Calvin Johnson was like watching his routes because he was catching the ball and taking off. And
he was damn near always open.
With 3 receivers on it, he was open.
Bro, they got a picture of him when he played the Saints, Jew. There's a picture against the Saints when they got 3 DBs.
The Saints? I think it's Dallas.
No, it's the Saints,
it's the
bro.
Saints?
It was the Saints. We had to get that video pulled up, that clip pulled up. When I always see this, Dad, how good was Calvin Johnson? And they got that picture right there.
Bro, good. You know how good was Calvin Johnson? They had punt return protection on that man. Had 2 cornerbacks on him at one point in time.
Listen, bro, that's what I'm saying. T.O. was a dog, bro.
Right.
T.O. was a dog. Randy Moss, we know what he did. And Jerry Rice, we know what he did. Yeah. Those are the only 3 receivers in the history of the NFL that I would take over Calvin Johnson, bro.
I'm be honest with you, bro. I don't even like T.O. being in front of Calvin Johnson. Bro. I'm be honest with you, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, bro. People, I don't understand what it is with the T.O. hate or the people.
It's no T.O. hate. It's just
a lot of people hate T.O., bro, and it was because of his off-field stuff, which took so long for him to get in the Hall of Fame. We all know that.
Right.
T.O. had like, if I can't remember, he's like. He in the top 5 in the receiving yards of all time. T.O. was a dog, bro.
T.O. was a dog, but if I'm looking at a receiver, if you said, hey, you can build you a receiver, your number 1 receiver, how would you like him built? I'm gonna say 6'5" and run a 4.3.
Yes, but you want T.O. toughness.
Calvin had toughness.
No, but I'm saying, but. I'm not saying he didn't, but you can't complete. If you building a receiver, you're just gonna say, "I want Calvin Johnson."
Yes,
I got you, but I'm saying, but for the aspect of building a receiver, bro, it's other stuff you got to put on there.
I feel you. But it's just like
I'm gonna go Larry Fitzgerald hands for sure.
Yeah,
Larry Fitzgerald had more. Listen, bro. Fun fact: Larry Fitzgerald has had more tackles in his NFL career than drops.
And that's cool.
Who? See, now we finna go on a rabbit hole. Yeah. Who else hands you gonna say over Larry Fitzgerald?
Over Larry Fitzgerald hands? Somebody that always caught the rock. Anquan Bolden or Steve Smith. Steve Smith over Anquan Bolden.
I can't do that because I'm going off. I can't. Me personally, if somebody got more tackles as a receiver. Then they got drops in their career, bro. It's like you can't tell me nothing else. He don't drop nothing.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I feel that. I think, and I played against Larry, so I know he's a Hall of Famer. So,
but you're not taking him over Calvin Johnson.
Nah. I don't know. I don't think I'm taking him over Calvin Johnson, bro. Just because I feel like when Calvin Johnson came out, bro, he just was like with every receiver coach. Recruit, whatever. What they start looking for is a 6'5", 6'3" receiver that can run fast.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. When Randy Moss came out, all of a sudden they was like, "Damn, bro, we need this." And then when you saw Calvin Johnson, it was like, "Oh shit, another one!" Like,
yeah.
And you don't see no 6'5". We haven't seen that since.
Yeah,
no 6'5" receiver, 6'5", 220.
That can take over the game. Dog. Yeah, nah, we ain't seen it in a minute.
Matthew Stafford was like, he down there somewhere,
and just threw it up.
and he gonna catch the ball.
Facts.
So as far as that list, all those receivers, he said he cooked, bro. He fried. I don't know what he smoked before he said that. We got to pack him up and get him up out of
here. Yeah. All right, so let's go to this topic, man. I know you gonna have a lot to say about it. So was RG3 better than Cam Newton in college? If you compared their careers, was RG3 better than Cam Newton in college? And I seen a little clip about it. And man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm not gonna go against the SEC, man. I'm not going against playing Bama, playing LSU. You know, I think Cam Newton was a better quarterback in college than RG3. Just based off that. Just based off Cam Newton. Cam Newton dominated in the SEC. and RG3 dominated in Big 12. So I feel like
Cam got a Heisman, right?
Yeah, both of them got Heisman.
Cam got a Heisman and won a national championship in the same year.
Yeah.
He did it all in 1 year.
Yep.
6'6", 220.
Yep.
Running 4.4, 4.5.
Yep.
Probably low 4.3, like a high 4.3, 4.37, 4.38.
4.45.
Cam was walking away from people, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Don't take me nothing away from the man who going where it's snowing. RG3.
I
gotta get a shirt. He going where it's snowing. RG3 was the dude at Baylor, bro. He was legitimately like cover NCAA football.
Yeah.
RG3 was that dude at Baylor. I'm not taking him over Cam Newton, bro.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton
not in college.
Cam won a national championship at Blinn.
Yeah.
Then he went to Auburn and did the same. But he was just like, bro, like I'm not like. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
In the SEC, he ran through the SEC.
Don't say ran through the SEC. Like
it
was a hard fought game between LSU and Auburn.
I don't think that. I think
they
lost the game.
They ain't lose. They ain't lose. But we played them tough. You know what I'm saying?
You played against them?
Yes.
Yes. So you saw a lot of times. I'm pretty sure in that game you saw two Newton.
Yeah. Hey, I was looking at the back of his jersey. And I was like, somebody slow this motherfucker down. Hey, he was running so much.
And he don't even look like he running that fast. But when you see people like pursuit angles, you're like, oh, he's just walking away from him.
Mm-hmm.
But like RG3 had that track speed. Like he ran track. So it's like you see him scooting, but just
you're not ready for a 6'5", 250 motherfucker.
You're not ready for a defensive end playing quarterback. Bro.
Yeah, nah.
Davian Clowney playing quarterback, and you got to tackle him.
Yeah. Nah. You're not ready to play. And nobody ready for that. And then when when he out there outrunning your cornerback, you know what I mean? It's like.
We can't see the speed thing. They both locked, right? But I feel like just watching Cam, that run he had in the SEC, bro, it was different. I don't think RG3, if RG3 was, I don't know what school, I think it was going to go to Texas A&M or something like that.
Mm-hmm. If
he had gone to the SEC, I'm not saying he wouldn't have been as good, but he not going on that Cam Newton run.
Yeah, nah. So we both agree. We picking Cam over RG3 for sure. All right, what's out there?
Our next topic at hand.
Yeah.
Another guy, right, posted a video saying LT or AD, who you taking? I'm gonna let you start off on this one. Who you taking, LT or AD?
LT or AD, man. What's so crazy about the video is one of the little dudes was saying LT was out there smoking crack.
He was like
LT was out there on the field
doing
cocaine and smoking crack at halftime, bro, and went out and had 19 sacks or some shit. So for me, it's like, bruh, I don't know, bro. With the crack in your system, bro, it got to be like something slowing you down, right? Like,
nah, bro, he going crazy.
He going crazy. I ain't never smoked no crack, so I don't know how crack affects you. So
but you didn't see the crackhead. You didn't see the crackhead at work.
Yeah, so hey, LT might have been out there cheating, bro, for real, bro. If you got crack and cocaine in your system, you playing football. I don't think that's right, bro. My dog AD was a clean specimen, bro. He just loved to work out. So I don't know, bro.
So look, the guy was just saying, LT, obviously he was saying LT had crack in the system and he was still out there going crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then all I got to do is show him this picture of the entire, was it the Seahawks offensive line?
Yeah.
The 49ers, one of them, their whole offensive line was chasing trying to block Aaron Donald, bro. If that don't tell you something, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Aaron Donald is the greatest defensive lineman defensive lineman ever, because you know what he could do? Put him in a wide nine. He gonna go get the quarterback.
Yep.
Off the edge, he gonna go get the quarterback.
Yeah.
You put him in the middle, he gonna go get the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? You can put him at nose tackle, D tackle, D end. It does not matter, bro. He produced the exact same at everywhere he was at, bro. LT was on the edge.
Yeah. Facts. So he getting blocked by tight ends.
Put him in front of put him in a two tech and show me something then.
Right.
Let me see LT in a two tech then. and show me him doing the same thing. Aaron, by the time they snapped the ball, bro, the video at Pittsburgh, they snapped the ball. He tackled the quarterback and the running back at the same time.
Crazy, bro.
And he was in an interior D lineman, bro.
That shit crazy.
You know how fast a motherfucker got to be before he snapped the ball and he passed me already, bro. Yeah. And you know how, bro, it's take half like a blink of an eye. You snapping the ball to the quarterback, trying to get your hand back up, and you like, he gone. The center like, oh, I'm good. You don't even know the play over with,
bruh. That's crazy, yo.
I don't ever want to hear nobody ever try to tell me nobody ever, bro, is better than Aaron Donald on that defensive line, bro.
Come on now.
Because if I could make 4 Aaron Donalds and put them on the D line, I would take 4 Aaron Donalds before any other body, bro. Like,
facts.
I don't want to hear none of that shit about LT ever again, bro. Like, LT was good at what he was at on the defensive end, bro. Mm-hmm. Aaron Donald was good at D end, D tackle, nose tackle, bro.
Facts. Man, preach, man.
Yes, bro. I don't want to hear. And he my homeboy. I know AD.
I know AD, bro.
I know AD. So,
man, the person that come with just knowing AD, bro, you don't understand.
Listen, bro. And the people gonna be, oh, this nigga hating on LT. No, I'm not hating on LT, bro. Mm-hmm. LT is probably one of the greatest defensive ends to ever play the game. That's the difference, bro. Aaron Donald is the greatest defensive lineman, which is every one of those positions to ever play the game. So, don't get it fucked up and sit here. Listen, don't comment. No, if you comment on this post, don't put nobody other name unless you say AD, bro. Because the rest, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear John Randall, Jared Allen. I don't want to hear Michael Strahan. I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro.
Come on now.
I just don't.
AD. We know AD. The fact that you said that is hilarious, bro. We know AD.
We know AD, bro. That get us anywhere.
That get us in stuff in Houston. People don't. He ain't even from here. And I just say I know AD.
I know AD.
And I get in somewhere.
I'll FaceTime AD right now. So, we in the
hey man, if we got it, you got anything else for the show? Man,
no, that's it, guys. Also, we have a youth football. Our annual youth football camp is coming up.
Yes. What year? What year is it? Before you get, is it 8th or 9th?
7?
You sure? I think it's 8th. It's 8th.
Bro,
we'll go with 8th.
That's crazy because I remember listen, y'all. Mike let me start running, like setting everything up after year 1 or year 2.
I think it was year 2.
Yeah, year 2. I was like, man, Mike, come on, bro. Let me lock in and let me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And ever since then, he didn't kind of let me, gave me the reins to everything. And we've been running this shit smooth ever since.
Yeah.
So y'all, guys, if you in the Houston area, June 28th, we'll put the link in the description. June 28th, guys, we only having 200 open slots because every year we normally have a lot of kids, so I'm trying to minimize it so we can have more teaching. The kids can have more fun. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of times we have so many kids, some kids get left out, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want this to be one of those camps where you show up and then some kids didn't even do. I don't want that. I don't want those kids leaving like they just came here and wasted their time. I don't want those parents to think they wasted their time. So shout out to our sponsors, man. Shock, Treadcal, Brock Brand,
Apex.
We got Yo's. We got Worms Candy. Shout out to my boy Zach. We got Details by Yo's. And everybody else who's been a prior sponsor to us. I appreciate you guys. And man, I'm ready for our camp.
Yeah, man. So that's June 28th. You can find the link at www.michaelbrockers.com. It's a free camp. Sign up before the 200 shirts or 200 spots.
Once the 200 spots are filled, we done. You just have to wait till next year.
And wait till next year. Wait till we get our second camp. But y'all know, man, for those who've been rocking with us from the beginning, man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all know the motto. Don't get ready, stay ready. Peace.